it's Bianca here. Today I'll be reviewing this extraordinary book called I Survived the Nazi Invasion 1944. It's a graphic novel and it's written by Lauren Tarshis and illustrated by Alvaro Sarraseca, and it's published by Scholastic. So, our two main characters, Max and Zena, who are fiction, they're so resilient because they had so many losses, like their mum, their auntie, and their dad. And they're so resilient. So before I review this book, I just want to talk about the creators. So it's at the back. First we have Lauren Tarshis, who's absolutely amazing because she does all this research and put in so much effort to make this book. Then it comes Georgia Ball, who adapted to Lauren Tarshis' writing to make it a graphic novel. And then last but not least, the talented illustrators. Alvaro Sarraseca teamed up with Juanma Aguilera to make these stunning illustrations, and I've never seen anything like them. So now I'll be talking about the research. It's at the back of the book, but I have to say, it's like a history class. You get information about the rise of Hitler, how everything got good again, and even got a timeline, so I'll show you. So here we have the rise of the Nazi Party, the Jewish life under Hitler, Jewish partisan fighters, and we've got a timeline on how Hitler rose and how everything got good again. So now I'm talking about these beautiful illustrations. They're just so beautiful and detailed, and they're just super realistic. So now I will talk about how cool this is, because if you look at this picture, you can see Hitler and look at his position and his face. So if you look at this illustration of Hitler, it's so realistic and cool because they're just so, it's amazing. And to me, I think that maybe, just maybe, all of the illustrations in this book are pictures, but they were just illustrated for this book. So now I will talk about this amazing message. I know, the Holocaust. It's one of the most terrifying and dramatic situations in history. So, which means that I thought the message was going to be super evil, but no, it's absolutely amazing. It's kindness, it's bravery, it's putting yourself in other people's shoes, and that's all the things that we should copy from each other who are doing it. So the first part of it is the love. Max and Zena here on page 17. So look, Max is trying to get the raspberries for Zena because at the concentration camp, and they got beat up by a soldier. But read this. I mean, it's amazing. Zena, she was crazy to follow us, but I would have done the same for her. I mean, look at this sibling love. I think we should not just do it for our siblings, but we should do it for all the people around us, and be kind to them and help them. So I love that about it. And another thing is on page 19 and 18. So on page 19, you have here on these illustrations, but this is when they escape. The two siblings escaped the Nazis, and that's really amazing because they did it together with teamwork. So the next thing is the hope they have together. When the Nazis first arrived in their country, her auntie is also sad about it, but she's not hopeless. She has so much hope, and she tells Max this. What do they want, Max? The Nazis want to take everything from us. Do not let them take away your hope. I think that's absolutely amazing advice to give to someone, not only for a terrible war, but for mostly everything. If you're going through something really scary and sad, have hope, okay? And another thing about it is the beautiful friendship that all the characters in this book had. If you look at this page, you can see that this man, Martin, is holding her on her back, and it doesn't even slow him down a bit. And that's just what friendship is. It's not technically this, but it just means that you should care for others, and that's friendship. And another thing about this book is the beautiful courage that everyone had to survive the Nazi invasion. On page 59 here, you've got how the Nazi resistant fighters, the partisans, they were the good guys, the real heroes who fought against the Nazis. They were so courageous and brave because look at this. They were on a train, and the train was full of guns, winter uniforms, and many Nazi supplies that were going to Russia. And the partisans, they stopped that train from getting to the borders. It would be super, it was just so courageous and amazing for someone to do that. So now I'll talk about my favorite parts of the book. So one of my favorite parts is when they reunite with their papa, and with their auntie. So when they reunite with their auntie, here, you can see how happy they are. Here. Look at this, Max, Zena, and look at this hug. It's just, I would just fall right into her arms if I were them. And it's so amazing about all the happiness they had in that moment. So another time they reunited was with their papa. Look, Papa, we're here! Because their papa was taken from the ghetto to a place and nobody knows, but they have theories that gunshots echo through the hills. But their papa, he survived, and it all reunited, and it was just such a happy moment, just like when they reunited with their auntie. And another super happy moment that I love in this book is when they have a new future, when they go to America, New York, and I think that it's very nice because when they we go to have their future back, they're also so happy, and it's like a refresh. So yeah, we have been at sea for an entire week now. I never thought there would be so much water in the world. And it's so happy because they're going to New York, and the dad is learning English. And listen to this. Which letter are you working on now? I'm in the F's again. Many important words begin with F in English. Faith, friends, family, future. And I love that about this book, and how the rest of the family in New York City had so much, they care for them, and they were there for them too. And the best thing about this book that I truly love is a letter that is signed by Lauren Tarshis, and it's right here. Many hundreds of you had asked for this topic. So, dear readers, the events in this book, part of what is known as the Holocaust, are among the most terrible in all of history. I'm Jewish, and I remember first learning about Hitler and the Nazis and World War II. When I was about your age, it was also frightening to think about. There were many times when I was writing this book when I wondered if the subject was just too horrifying to include in the I Survived series, but many hundreds of you had asked for a story on this topic, and so I decided to do my best to write about the Holocaust. In a way, that wasn't simply terrifying. I wanted to create a story that would inspire you. I wanted to help you begin to understand what happened. My hope is that you'll think about my story after you read it. I want you to talk about it with your parents, your teachers, and your friends, because by learning about the Holocaust, thinking about it, talking about it, you'll honor the memories of those who died and the millions of others who suffered. You also realize how lucky you are to live in a place where so many different kinds of people can live together peacefully. You already know it's wrong to be cruel to someone because they're different. The Holocaust shows what happened when people forgot that, when the hatred and prejudice explodes out of control. So I really hope you enjoyed that message. I really loved it. And I hope you enjoyed this book review just as much as I did. And don't forget to follow me and give me some feedback. Bye!